welcoming into the studio. Brent Cairns from the Kaiapoi Food Forest. Brent, it's really, really nice to have a chat with you.
Morena, Kerry. It's interesting. Both of us come from Southland, folks, and there's no rolling of R's.
That's amazing, isn't it?
I can't hear them.
Oh, it's awesome. I was south in Invercargill. I'm not too sure whether you were.
North in Invercargill.
Oh, well, then there's a divide straight away. But that's another story. Brent, it's really nice that you're coming in here. I don't know a heck of a lot about, and I should, but I don't know a heck of a lot about the Kaiapoi Food Forest. So for those of us who don't know much about it, tell us.
So the Kaiapoi Food Forest started after the earthquakes, effectively. Once there was red zoning declared within certain areas of Kaiapoi in the Waimakariri district, and in there's almost 1,000 homes that were a residential red zone. And once all the homes were actually cleared, the council then said to the people, well, what do you want to do with all this bare land? And people said, we want sports fields, dog parks, BMX tracks and that sort of thing. But one of the most popular things was a food forest. And so in 2017, the council came to us and said, right, would you like to create a food forest? Since then, the 16th of September 2017, we started off and planted a few trees. And since then, we've had over 3,000 trees and plants donated by the local residents and the businesses. So if you imagine a park, just like any other park in the district, you walk into it and you wander around. But the beauty of it is that it's a great place for picnic and gathering and that sort of thing. But the beauty of it is it's filled with food.
And people can
Forage.
Forage, that's the word that I was looking for.
Effectively, it's like if you were to look at the traditional word, which would be mahingakai, which would be foraging for food. This is effectively exactly the same. You just come in and forage for food. So yesterday, we were foraging for raspberries and strawberries and that sort of thing. So when people came in yesterday, we were able to show them where all of those things were. The problem that we have mainly, Kerry, is that people think that food is available 12 months of the year, because you buy all of your food mainly from a supermarket, whereas this is all seasonal food. So at the moment, raspberries and strawberries are available, and in a month's time, we're going to have peaches and apples and that sort of thing.
Absolutely. Brent Cairns from the Kaiapoi Food Forest. Brent, you would be a bit of a local historian too, because you've got stories about all sorts of things in regards to the food forest, like even going right back to the early settlers, where Kaiapoi used to be a trading post.
So before the settlers even, Kerry, so Kaiapoi was one of New Zealand's most important trading posts for food and punamu. So the river was extremely important, and also with Kaiapoi being virtually in the centre of the South Island, people or the tribes would travel up the river, and whatever they'd foraged or grown, they would then throw it onto the banks of the Kaiapoi River, and then they would trade. And from the west coast, punamu would be brought over, and they would trade. And in fact, the history shows that punamu had to be traded through Kaiapoi. So it was an extremely important place for people that were living at that time
to gather and do the trade. Okay, well, look, that is actually fascinating. We'll probably be talking about this for the next 2 or 3 days. The third year running the event, and the event is the Wellbeing Festival. So you know what you're doing now.
We love to do things differently. So at the Food Forest, we not only run a whole pile of education programs, but we're also tasked with making sure that we make a vibrant and a vibrant community. And so 3 years ago, we decided to have a Wellbeing Festival. And back then, we would actually have gymnasiums come in, because the whole idea of Wellbeing is about getting people to connect, getting people to try and learn something new and become more active.
Yep.
This year, we're going to do things completely different. It's still going to be a massive, massive day. We've got live music, huge number of stalls. We've got stalls from as far as Ashburton and all over Canterbury coming. A lot of them have never been here before, so there's going to be lots of new stalls. We've got a kids zone. Mike Perot is bringing in his bounce castle. We've got merry-go-rounds. We've got shooting galleries. We've even got electric cars. We've got Tesla's going to be on site. We're going to have electric bike.
Scooters. You got to have a scooter.
Well, these are going to be electric bikes.
Oh, okay.
So we could only get electric bikes and we could only get electric cars. So people can actually take these things for test drives, and as I said, you're going to have a Tesla on site as well.
Wow, nothing wrong with that. Rolled penguin ice creams as well. You got all of the food is going to be there. Everything.
Have you ever tasted rolled penguin ice creams?
It's probably fair to say no.
So rolled penguin ice creams is a guy. So you tell him what you want in terms of a flavour. He pours it out onto this cold plate, and effectively you see the ice cream being created right in front of you. It's absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous ice cream. That's why we get him back every year to the the Wellbeing Festival, and Francesca from Villa del Vente Cakes, who is our local cake maker here, she makes the most amazing looking cake. And it's I've never seen people line up to actually buy cakes before, but Francesca is the girl to do it. The cakes are just absolutely to die for.
Yeah.
And so she's got this lineup of people right from the start of the morning right through to the late, and she sells out every time. And she brings lots and lots of cakes, but well worth coming.
Go Francesca.
Plus also, Kerry, we've got demos throughout the day. So we've got anything from Tai Chi, we've got improv theatre, we've got pottery making, foraging for edible plants, but there is something very, very special. And if anybody's ever been to Cirque du Soleil sort of type event where you've got girls up, suspended up high, there's a couple of national champions appearing at the Wellbeing Festival, Kate and Erin and Italia. They are just extraordinary what they can do. It's called a lira, or I believe it's called a lira. It's a circle, and it's hard enough to get in this thing, and it's hard enough for one girl to do something, but there's two of them working in this together.
So just for someone who may not be totally, sort of like a trapeze type thing.
Yes, yeah. It's just amazing. So the whole idea is the well-being about being more active. We wanted people not only to go to gyms, but to try something a little bit different. And that's why we're getting people to do things like the pottery and foraging for weeds and that sort of stuff, Tai Chi and different demos. So you can come along and get involved.
Brilliant stuff. It looks like you got a VIP package up for
yes.
Tell us about that.
Yes, if you pop onto our Kaiapoi Food Forest Facebook page, and if you tag your friend that you'd like to share the VIP package with, and effectively what will happen is at 10:25, you've got to be there at 10:25 with your friend, and the winners will be announced. And what will happen is that they will then be escorted around, and we will then give you free massages, and you'll get free rolled penguin ice creams, and then you'll get a package of vouchers that you can take to some of the local retailers, like Paris for the Weekend, CBK and Kaiapoi and such.
Absolutely, and Paris for the Weekend, a great bunch of ladies in there.
Oh, yes.
Really, really cool.
Cheryl and Charlotte, and of course Hamish from CBK.
Absolutely. Leslie from Eco Educate is someone to thank for this as well?
Indeed. So every event that we've run has been a zero waste. So we have our own cups, we have our own plates and that sort of thing. If you bring your own cups and plates, that's all well and good, but we have our own plates. Effectively, it means that we have no waste at the end of a large event. So we have over thousands of people coming to our events and no waste. So it's amazing for our environment. And that's the whole purpose of the food forest. It's good for our environment. We grow food sustainably, so we don't use any pesticides or herbicides in the food forest as well.
Absolutely. The Kaiapoi Food Forest. One question, and I hear people screaming at the radio right now.
When?
Brent,
what time?
Brent, we know it's on the 27th, but where is the Kaiapoi?
The Kaiapoi Food Forest is opposite St. Bart's Church on Cass Street. So it's 32 Cass Street in Kaiapoi, so CASS, Cass Street in Kaiapoi. It's on the corner of Cass and Meadow Streets. There's lots of parking there down at the Norman Kirk Park. So, yeah, there's lots of room. Come on down. It is going to be an amazing, fun day.
It's on the 27th from around 10?
10 in the morning till 3.
10 till 3. Look, Brent, you've sold me. I'll be there. I've got to have one of these rolled penguins. Oh, hang on. It's the ice cream, isn't it?
It's the ice cream.
We'll do the rolled penguin ice cream. You've represented the Kaiapoi Food Forest incredibly well. Brent Cairns, thanks so much for coming in.